Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we are looking into the spiritual and mental benefits of fasting.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
we've got some excerpts here from a source called "Spiritual and Mental Benefits of Fasting," and I was looking it over, and it's really fascinating stuff. It goes way beyond just the physical stuff.
Right.
We'll be talking about connections to self-control and even brain function,
Wow.
and even how it can reduce negative thoughts.
That's amazing. I've always found it interesting how fasting is, it appears throughout history, in different cultures.
Mhm.
It really does make you wonder, if it taps us into something deeper.
Yeah. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
and the source definitely emphasizes that, that holistic aspect of it,
Right.
like how fasting can really impact us on so many different levels.
Yeah.
I'm really drawn to these five spiritual benefits that it outlines.
Yes, yes, those are quite powerful.
Mhm.
It starts with this idea of strengthening one's connection with the divine, cultivating piety, which is referred to as taqwa in the source.
Tahaqua.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a quote from the Quran that really drives this point home. It says, "O you who have believed, fasting has been prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you, so that you may attain taqwa."
Oh, wow. That's powerful. Where's that from?
That's from Quran 2.183.
Okay.
And it really sets the stage for how fasting is seen as a pathway to something much greater.
Hmm.
It highlights the idea that through self-discipline and this conscious choice to abstain,
Right.
we can connect with a higher purpose.
Yeah, yeah. And then the next benefit that's listed is purification of the soul,
Right.
which the source calls tazkiyah al-nafs in Arabic.
It's about fostering patience, humility, and self-discipline, and ultimately leading to inner peace.
I see. So it's aligning with a lot of those, those mindfulness practices that are popular now.
It is. It is. It's fascinating how, this concept aligns with the principles of modern mindfulness. The idea is to strip away distractions
Right.
and reconnect with your core self.
So do you think that's why so many people report feeling more centered and focused during periods of fasting?
It's certainly possible. By removing the constant stimulation of food and drink, we create space, for introspection
Hmm.
and a deeper awareness of our thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, that makes sense. The source also talks about a deepening of worship
Yes.
and focus during prayer,
Yeah.
which I think a lot of people can relate to that. How often are we letting our minds wander during prayer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a common struggle, but fasting can help quiet that internal chatter,
right.
allowing for, more genuine and present connection during prayer.
Okay. And then it goes on to discuss forgiveness and cleansing of sins.
That's a powerful idea.
It is. And they include a hadith.
Okay.
It says, whoever fasts during Ramadan with faith and seeking reward, his past sins will be forgiven. Powerful stuff.
That's from Bukhari and Muslim.
Okay.
And it speaks to the symbolic power of fasting as this a form of, renewal
Hmm.
and starting fresh. It's interesting to, think about how many cultures have rituals, around cleansing and purification, and fasting fits right into that.
Yeah, like hitting the reset button.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It offers an opportunity to let go of the past and move forward with a renewed sense of purpose.
Okay. And then finally, it highlights cultivating patience and gratitude through fasting.
Or absolutely, and by experiencing that temporary deprivation,
Hmm.
we can develop a deeper appreciation, for the abundance in our lives.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. But what really caught my eye was that it also dives into the scientific research
Oh, wow.
that supports the mental benefits. I was surprised by that.
Yeah, while the research is still ongoing, it is fascinating to
Hmm.
see how fasting impacts, brain chemistry and function.
Right.
It's not just a spiritual or psychological experience.
Hmm.
There's a biological component at play.
I see.
For instance, studies suggest that fasting can increase serotonin and endorphin levels.
So there's
Oh.
there's actual science behind why people might feel happier and more balanced
Yes.
during a fast. Wow, that's cool.
And these neurochemicals play a key role in regulating mood,
Hmm.
reducing stress and promoting a sense of well-being. It's like giving your brain a natural mood boost.
That's awesome. And then it also talks about enhanced brain function and memory. It even brings up neuroplasticity. Can you
Yeah.
explain what that is?
Yeah, neuroplasticity refers to the brain's remarkable ability to adapt
Hmm.
and rewire itself by forming, new neural connections.
Oh, well.
It's like our brain's way of constantly learning and evolving.
So like that brain fog some people complain about.
Yeah.
Maybe fasting helps clear that up.
That's one possibility.
Okay.
And this enhanced neuroplasticity could lead to, improvements in cognitive function,
Hmm.
learning and memory.
So you're saying it could help us to like process information more efficiently
Yes.
and remember things easier.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, that's good to know. Um, and then the next benefit is increased self-control and discipline,
Right.
which makes a lot of sense. It's like working out your willpower muscle.
Exactly. It's about proving to yourself that, you can overcome challenges,
Right.
resist temptations, and that sense of accomplishment
Yeah.
can be incredibly empowering.
And then it talks about better sleep and mood stability
Right.
and how fasting helps regulate hormones,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense. It's not just about avoiding those,
Mm-hmm.
hangry moments.
Right, right. Hormonal imbalances can affect, everything from, sleep quality to energy levels.
It's like to emotional stability.
Yeah.
And fasting seems to have a regulating effect on key hormones,
Okay.
like cortisol, which is linked to stress,
Mm-hmm.
and insulin, which plays a role in blood sugar control.
So it's like hitting the reset button on your body's internal systems.
Exactly.
Okay. And then the last benefit it mentions is a reduction in negative thoughts and depression.
Fascinating.
And it even links dopamine, the pleasure and reward chemical, to spirituality.
What's interesting here is how, the spiritual practices associated with fasting,
Right.
like connecting with a higher power or feeling a sense of purpose,
Mm-hmm.
can trigger the release of dopamine.
Oh, wow.
So, this suggests there might be a deeper connection between our spiritual neurological states.
So it's not just about feeling good because you resisted that donut.
Right?
There's a deeper sense of reward
Yes.
tied to those spiritual practices.
It's a fascinating area to explore. Wow, we've covered a lot already. And it's clear that fasting offers some pretty incredible potential benefits,
Yeah.
both spiritual and mental.
Yeah.
But I think the big question is,
How we can apply this knowledge to our own lives.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to learn about these benefits,
right?
but it's another thing to experience them firsthand.
Exactly. And I'm wondering about like the practical side of things. The source mentions, fasting as this powerful tool
Mm-hmm.
for self-discovery and growth.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't get into like specifics
Right.
about different types of fasting, does it?
You're right, it doesn't. And that's where it's important to do your own research and find an approach that feels right for you.
Mm-hmm.
There are various methods of fasting, each, with its own set of guidelines and recommendations.
So it's not one size fits all.
Exactly.
Right.
Some people might choose to abstain from all food and drink for a specific period,
Right.
while others might opt for a modified fast where they restrict, certain types of food or limit their calorie intake.
So you're saying it's about finding what works best for you.
Precisely.
Okay.
And it's crucial to consider your overall health and consult with a healthcare professional,
Of course.
especially if you have,
Mhm.
any underlying medical conditions. Safety, always comes first.
Right. Don't just jump into some drastic fast
No,
without talking to your doctor or doing your own research.
exactly.
And beyond the physical aspects, the source, it really emphasizes the importance of approaching fasting
Mm-hmm.
with the right mindset.
Yes.
Like intention, clarity, and a positive attitude can make a huge difference
Absolutely.
in the experience.
Yeah, it's like setting an intention like you would with any other personal growth practice.
Right.
It's not just about deprivation.
Mhm.
It's about what you choose to cultivate during that time. It's about creating space for something new to emerge. It's an opportunity to connect with your inner wisdom, reflect on your values, and gain a deeper understanding of yourself.
Yeah, I see how that could be really transformative. But I think some people might be listening and thinking, okay, this is all very deep
Right.
and philosophical, but how does it play out
Right.
in everyday life?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And while the source doesn't provide specific examples,
Mhm.
we can extrapolate based on what we've discussed.
Okay.
Let's say you're someone who, struggles with making, healthy food choices.
Right.
The discipline and self-awareness you cultivate through fasting, could help you make more conscious decisions
Mm.
about what you eat, even when you're not fasting.
Or how about like that afternoon slump? We all experience that.
Right.
Maybe the increased mental clarity could help you power through
Right.
those energy dips
Exact.
and be more productive.
And for someone dealing with anxiety, those moments of stillness and self-reflection during fasting
Mm.
could offer valuable insights into the root causes of their stress
Right.
and provide tools for, managing it more effectively.
It's interesting to consider, how much of the benefit comes from the act of fasting
Mm-hmm.
versus like the mindset shift
Yeah,
that it triggers.
that's a great question, and one that researchers are still exploring.
Okay.
It's likely a combination of both.
Mm.
The physiological changes
Right.
that occur during fasting,
Mhm.
create a more receptive state, for personal growth and change,
Mm.
while the intentional focus on spiritual and mental well-being
Right.
amplifies those benefits.
So it's like fasting provides the fertile ground,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then it's up to us to, plant the seeds.
That's a wonderful analogy.
Yeah.
It emphasizes the active role.
Yeah.
We play in our own transformation. Fasting is not a passive activity. It requires effort, commitment, and a willingness to embrace both the challenges
Mm.
and the rewards that come with it.
So it's about taking ownership of your own well-being
Yes.
and recognizing that it's a journey,
Mm-hmm.
not a destination.
Absolutely.
And there will be ups and downs along the way.
Absolutely. There will be days when, you struggle with cravings, when
Yeah.
you feel irritable or tired, when you question,
Mm-hmm.
why am I doing this?
Right.
But it's in those moments of challenge,
Mm.
that we have the greatest opportunity for growth.
It's like those challenges of the fire
Mm-hmm.
that temper us,
Yes.
making us stronger,
Yeah,
more resilient.
exactly. And it's important to remember that you're not alone in this.
Mm.
There are communities, resources, and guidance available to support you
Right.
on your fasting journey.
Great.
Don't hesitate to reach out, and connect with others who share your interest in exploring this, this ancient practice.
That's such an important reminder.
Yeah.
We're all in this together. We've covered so much ground in this deep dive, but there's always more to explore, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it really is. It really highlights how something as personal as fasting can also be a source of connection.
Mm.
Like, we're all on this journey together, each in our own way,
Sure.
but united by this shared practice.
And knowing you're not alone in those, especially those challenging moments,
Right.
that can make all the difference.
It can.
Yeah.
It's about finding support and encouragement from others,
Yeah.
who understand the ups and downs
Mm.
of the fasting journey.
It strikes me that this whole deep dive has been a journey.
Mm.
We started with the curiosity about fasting,
Yeah.
explored the spiritual and mental benefits, and now
Right.
we've landed on this beautiful concept of connection and community.
It is. It's like a perfect
Yeah.
circle.
It is. It is.
And it's a reminder that even ancient practices
Yeah.
like fasting can have a profound relevance
Mm.
in our modern lives.
Well, deep divers, I think it's time to wrap up this incredible exploration.
Yeah, it's been a good one.
We've uncovered so much about the power of fasting, from boosting brain function
Yeah.
to finding a deeper spiritual connection.
Exactly.
I hope our conversation has sparked a curiosity in you
Yeah.
to delve deeper into this practice
Mm-hmm.
and discover what it might hold for you.
Absolutely.
If you're feeling even a little bit inspired,
Mm-hmm.
I encourage you to do some research.
Yeah.
Talk to people who have experience with fasting and maybe even give it a try yourself.
I agree.
Yeah.
Remember, the true power of fasting, lies not just in abstaining,
Hmm.
but in what we cultivate during that time.
Right.
It's an opportunity for reflection, for growth, for connection.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's about using that space
Mm.
to create a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
So, as we sign off, I'll leave you with this question.
Okay.
What are you ready to create space for in your life?
Right.
Until next time, keep diving deep.